It's struggling here. There it is. All right. Test 1, 2. I got to redo my studio. You got to give me some ideas because I need to. I got some furs and everything. I want to kind of show some stuff off, some different antlers and stuff, how to do that. I almost think I need to move this forward, like you said that one time. So if I do have a guest, they're behind me. But I don't know if that's going to work either. I don't want
from your desk right here.
That's way too much.
Why?
It just takes away. It doesn't look open that way. So, all right, I got somebody on there. Hey, audio check 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me know how it sounds. Audio coming through all right. Is it? Let me know. I got Lynn phone hooked up for the other guys. And YouTube started up here. Jesse, you pull that mic down, you lazy guy. Laying back there.
Yes, I am.
I should put my other webcam up and show them that awesome photo.
Hey, I'm old school over here. Oops, gym shorts and a smile.
Gym shorts and a smile. I forgot to do a couple things on my side of things here. All right, let me know if the audio sounds good here. Anybody that's on YouTube, let me know here.
Hey, don't forget your first break like I did.
You forgot the first break?
Well,
busted right through it or what?
Busted right through it by about a minute. So I'm not real sure what happened on the South Dakota stations, but Wagner had me covered on K-Fire, but I don't know if the South Dakota stations...
They don't like you anymore.
I know. I apologized profusely on the air. Bottom of the hour and end of the show, I was a little bit better, but they were still a little off. I was out like 20 seconds early. But I had the outro music going, so yeah, I was a mess.
So what you're saying is you're not a fan of back timing?
Oh, I'm a fan of it. I'm just really poor at it.
I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of people that know back timing anymore because all the new systems, the next gens, all the computer systems.
They'll do it for you.
Well, they mix everything up unless you have to do a live going into it or something, but it's a little bit easier.
I'll tell you what, even though there's things about the show that are starting to annoy me, Scott Hennon got back timing figured out.
He can back time. He's an old school guy.
Yeah, he's got that down good. He's just turning a K-Fire show more and more into Minnesota talk every day. Drives me crazy.
I wasn't on the air last week, so whatever happened, we're good from KGFX. So it wasn't Chuck's fault.
No.
Okay. Oh, good stuff. That just happens.
Well, I had John on as my guest, and we were just talking away, and all of a sudden I looked down like, oh, John.
Stop.
I'm a minute past my break, dude. We got to go. Sorry, folks. We'll be back. I'm like, oh, man.
And that's what happens when it goes. I can't believe Christy didn't want to come over today.
Yeah.
I had a bottle of water, I guess. I forgot to.
Oh, it's right here. I'll get
it. See my Berg's AIing shirt? My YouTube swag.
Oh, I had.
You got to talk in the mic, buddy. We're on live right now. You got to be continuing here.
I had
there we go.
My Western Frontier Insurance cap on last week. My free advertising.
This is the pre-show on YouTube before we go live on the station.
I know. I got you. My pre-show was pretty boring. It was just me sitting there being confused.
Mine's usually that way anyway. Okay, well, I got Mike messaging me over here on this tab. Oh, he says,
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay. Yeah, I need to revamp. Marty Beard sent me that coon hide.
Oh.
And I got to get that hung up.
What if you just flipped it around? Because this back here is typically clean and tidy.
Typically clean and tidy.
It is.
It is.
Even right now, it's just you just got a shirt sitting on the or a coat sitting on the table.
I don't know.
What if you just flip flop it and give them the whole room?
I could do that, I guess.
That way you could put things everywhere.
That's the problem. I don't want a whole pile of stuff everywhere, you know?
You're overthinking it.
I always do. All right, we 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Okay.
This is what we got here. Hey, you know, it's the early Canada goose season, you know, hey. Today.
Is it today or next week?
2019 Canada geese early Missouri River season today in North Dakota and South Dakota. Is Canada Goose season to Canada Goose Unit 1 opens today in South Dakota. There's all kinds of stuff going on here. Just a whole. Wish they'd put the dates in sequential order.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do is go to the page where you can choose the species and just click through each species. But they changed their website
and it's snipe and everything here.
Right. They changed their species. Oh, South Dakota, you mean?
North Dakota's got a whole calendar right here.
Yeah. South Dakota is a little hard for me to get around on, but I've never been on there before until last week. So
I have purchased a few licenses through it, so I can get around it pretty easy. Plus, I'm looking at it every day.
Right.
Makes a difference. And Jody sends me all kinds of good stuff, too. Well, Mobridge is the only one I'm kind of wondering if they're on here with me. I got 2 of the 3 stations. So we'll see. Speaking of that, here's my South Dakota Game Fish login right here. I have to write this stuff down.
Yeah, I hear you. I
had to start a new account because my other account got locked up because I forgot my password so many times.
Oh.
So I just started a different one.
I got you.
Easier that way sometimes.
It didn't tell you there's already a guy out there with this information.
Yes, it did.
So did you have to adjust your information?
I called down and they helped me with that situation.
Oh, okay.
Because it was an old email that server went.
Computer went down.
BTI net thing.
Okay.
They just stopped.
Yeah, your email was gone.
One day.
Yeah.
Like completely gone.
Handy.
All my contacts, everything.
Well, that's a big bear. Look behind you.
I'm seeing it on my screen here.
Big in
here. I don't know. Everybody says bear are the hardest things to judge size. Because they're
just big.
There's a lot of hair there. It's like coyotes.
Right.
You're aiming at a bread loaf.
Right.
Or a rabbit.
No, they're easy.
Yeah, they're easy at 25 yards. Yeah, yesterday was elk bow season, moose bow season, elk regular season. Why does that start twice? Today's Canada geese on the Missouri River. Oh, next Friday is the youth deer opener.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it isn't open yet. The only thing that's open is bow.
That's going to be busy around these parts next week. All right, 45 seconds, it looks like here.
Syllabus.
Just do some auctioneer warm-ups, and you can repeat them after me. No cursing now.
Did I have that cursing look on my face?
Look on your face. I knew what was going on. Exactly. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I'm your host, Scott Bachmeyer, back in the air chairs, they say, back in the day. For the next hour, we have the privilege talking outdoors across 3 great radio stations, KFYR to Bismarck, KOLY, Mobridge, South Dakota, and also KGFX in Pierre and worldwide through YouTube Live. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. I want to welcome my co-host and guest for today, also thank him for filling in for me last week when I was at a wedding in Minnesota. I heard that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. You're supposed to hang that O out there.
Really?
Yeah. Minnesota is what I was told here. But anyway, Jesse Flath from Western Frontier Insurance. Welcome to the studios, the plush studios in the world headquarters of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. This is a little simpler, just sitting here and waiting to say whatever you want me to instead of having to run the show back there. That's a little different than it was a couple of years ago.
It's not just phone lines anymore.
No, it's not just sit there at Mike Wagner and let him tell you what to do.
I'll tell you this, though. It seems like, I try to keep up to date on the technology, but we're really behind. Okay. We're just YouTube and a few other things. There's other people that are doing podcasts like crazy right now. And that's the latest, greatest. You can find all my shows, daily shows on DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com for the last 30 days. I usually try to keep a month's worth on there. So if you want to go back and yell at me about something, same thing on YouTube. These will be my Saturday show. You can go and watch them at any time.
They're all on there, though.
They're all, except for the ones that I had copyright infringements, I had to delete.
Yeah, I'd like to know what's going to happen there. I've seen a lot of stuff on YouTube of other shows, daily shows, once in a while shows.
See, they're
all getting hit with this copyright infringement stuff.
You can dispute it. I just don't have time to sit and dispute everything, But anyway, Cowboy Hall of Fame golf scrambles this past Thursday. You and myself and Gene and Brenda were on a great team here. We did not get anywhere close to winning anything, but we had a good time, had a lot of fun. And
we did.
Got to sit and talk to Benny Paulson for a little bit.
Yeah.
His new band, Breaking 8. They have a big show. I think it's tonight in Dickinson.
Okay.
I think they have a show tonight. And been traveling all across. He did the Weibo. He did the fair up in Weibo with Wade Hayes, and any country guys remember Wade Hayes and all that. But see, he gave me the go-ahead to use his music for any of my shows. And as soon as I played it that one time,
it got copyrighted.
I got copyrighted in a hurry. So I don't know the rules and regulations going through that. I don't have a lot of time. Yesterday, I spent 2.5, 3 hours doing some great hiking and scouting.
While chasing a bull.
You were on top, keeping the four-wheeler up above, watching, and I was down in the thick, heavy brush. It is heavy this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man.
Even the wildlife we did see yesterday, it's tough. I mean, growth already in some of your pastures that it almost looks like spring. The pastures
doesn't look like I grazed them, did it?
No, the pastures looked really good, but we had all this late moisture, which we're getting some more of this morning here, it looks like. And
yeah, we are.
It looks good out there.
Yeah. And the thing about, I was talking to somebody about this. Oh, before I forget, it's open line. We have nothing more to talk about than what we're sitting in the chairs. 888-9-DAKOTA. That's 888-932-5682 is the toll-free number. I'll pay the bill. You call in with maybe you were antelope hunting, or I'm sorry, pronghorn hunting, because that's the species of antelope. Remember when we were in Texas? The guy asked about that.
That's a good one.
You have any antelope down there? He's like, which species?
Yeah, 30 kinds.
We have 30 kinds. Maybe you're elk hunting.
Yeah.
A buddy of yours got a nice bull yesterday. Was it Thursday?
That was yesterday. It opened yesterday.
That's right. Okay. But anyway, if you have anything, 888-9-DAKOTA, 888-932-5682. There's also gun issues. Walmart not selling guns anymore and ammunition.
I think
and all
it's
that.
awesome.
I'll
give you my theory.
I'll give you my theory too. So call in. And now I forgot where I was heading with all this. The first time. We can go straight into it. But feel free to call in and join in here as we just sit back and enjoy and kick back and talk a little bit here. I'm not sure what the weather's doing across the rest of the state here in the Badlands of Nodak, where I'm sitting in the situation. It is overcast. It is windy. It's spitting. I'm not going to say it's raining.
Yeah, I agree.
But it is going to make for an awesome bow hunting day today with you, Jesse. We are deer hunting.
Oof.
I don't care what you say.
All right.
Because I've yet to get, and I really don't try too hard for a velvet buck.
Deer. Yeah.
I really don't try that hard for it. Maybe I should. But have you seen a lot of the photos this morning?
No, I haven't been online at all.
On the social media side of things, looks like a lot of the whitetail are starting to rub already.
Oh, okay.
Some are hanging, some are just red horns right now, and but the muleys are going to hang on for a while, and that's what we're after. Oh, where I was going to go before. Chasing that bull, I had a lot of time in the bottom of the ravine thinking to myself about many things.
That's always scary.
It is a bad thing when you're by yourself and you're within your own thoughts for too long. Especially
slightly upset.
And slightly upset because this bull ain't moving where he's supposed to be. Actually, he moved exactly where we wanted him to. He just wouldn't go through the gate.
Yeah. Had him within 7 feet of the gate probably 4 dozen times, it felt like.
And he was like, no, I'm in. And you know why? Is because the gate was outside in the sunshine. He wanted to be in the shadows, shade and brush up. But anyway, I was thinking, and I had this conversation with no, if it was Jamie or John Armin or somebody of those guys, I forget. It was one of them times that I haven't been seeing hardly any fawns this year.
Oh, yeah.
And yesterday we covered, I don't know, a few sections of land just trying to, first off, find the bull.
Yep.
And when we did find him, I don't know how he got into that one pasture. But anyway, they're sneaky that way.
Yeah.
You said you only saw 3 deer covering as much ground as you did.
Yes,
I saw 0.
I saw a spike buck and 2 does. One looked like it was probably a yearling.
Okay.
Yeah, and I covered, I don't know, I was on the wheeler. I covered a lot of ground.
Yeah. And I saw 0 wildlife land. Yeah.
But I will say, after we did actually go looking specifically for wildlife,
then we saw a lot.
We saw a lot, but it's hard to see them right now.
That's the thing. I think what's happened is I was 10 feet away from that bull, and I
you
couldn't see it.
I had to tell you how close you were because I could see from up on top. I could see you both, and you had no idea where he was.
Yeah, it's thick, which is good. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
good cover.
Talk about great cover. It's good for coyotes because right now I was helping a neighbor put up some straw, some barley hay. 2 coyotes, and they are getting primed up. Now, people are going to call BS on that. Yeah. I'm sure they can. You can call in, but let me tell you, these coyotes are looking good already. And last year, I remember JP, the first coyote he got was the first weekend in October, like the very first weekend.
Yeah.
And he got $75 for that coyote on carcass.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, I still think we're probably two weeks or better away.
Oh, yeah.
But
probably more. But,
you know, we saw that one coming into the yard last night. He was a young dog, but he looked good.
Mm-hmm.
I actually saw a really, really large dog right outside of Beulah last week come across the road middle of the day with not a care in the world. And he kind of stopped in the ditch and looked at me. Like you said earlier, it's hard to judge these coyotes anymore. He looked like a massive coyote. He was either a big old grandpa or he already had a lot of hair on because
maybe he was your neighbor's dog.
No. No.
You don't have neighbor's dog like my neighbor? The one I wanted to have on the radio this morning that got her bear in Minnesota. Have you ever seen? I don't know. It's like a Malamute or some Alaskan. Yeah. It's huge.
It's like a Samoa, but bigger.
Yeah, bigger. Anyway, we'll come back here. First break up. Phone lines are open at 888-9-DAKOTA. That's 888-932-5682 is the number. Feel free to call in. We're going to take a short break. Come back with more Dakota Prairie Outdoors. K-Fire, KOLY, and KGFX.
As a leader in farm and ranch insurance in North Dakota, Dakota Community Insurance understands the importance of protecting all aspects of your operation, no matter how large or small. Your Dakota Community Insurance agent can customize an insurance package to cover your farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. For more information, call your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or visit dakotacommunitybank.com.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. Again, sitting with Joe, talking about deer hunting coming around the corner. When it comes to deer list, you don't think about your wife's deer list. It's deer hunting, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. She doesn't make very good venison.
Let's talk about the rifles for deer season here. You got plenty of them to choose from, but name like some of the top 3 that people are coming in and they're just flying off the shelf.
Well, I would say the Marlins, the Ruger Americans, of course, the Remingtons, of course. Savage is a super gun out of the box. They're as good as any of them as far as accuracy right out of the box.
What are some of the special things that come around deer season, like optics, ammunition people are looking at? I know rangefinders are kind of big, and you guys carry a full line of optics as well.
Rangefinders is quite a thing. I mean, you got your cheaper ones, you get your higher ones. You're going to buy one, you may as well buy a good one that'll get out there.
Mandan Sporting Goods, it's 210 East Main. Stop by.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to the Western Dakota Equipment Auction in Bowman on September 20th. Consign your items with Piper's today and line your equipment up to these featured items: John Deere and Case tractors, combines, and air seeders, a 2014 Case 4430 Patriot sprayer, low-hour payloaders and skid steers, top-of-the-line farm and hay equipment, trucks, trailers, construction equipment, and more. Join Piper's Auction in Bowman, North Dakota. Advertising deadline is August 20th. Our inventory is updated daily at pipers.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Scott Bachmeyer, and besides being the host of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio and also a rancher in the Badlands, I'm also an auctioneer. So if you're looking to auction off property, maybe you have farm equipment, a production sale coming up, even a benefit or a fundraiser, I'm the guy that can help you out. Maybe you're listening and you have your own auction company and you find yourself short of help sometimes. I can step up as an auctioneer or even help as a ringman. Give me a call, send me a message, 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
Dakota Community Wealth Management's trust advisors use your wealth to support your family and those you care about. Whether you are just beginning to accumulate wealth or already have significant assets, our wealth management and trust professionals offer a complete array of customizable services to fit your needs. Visit dakotacommunitybank.com or ask for Dakota Community Wealth Management Department to ensure your legacy.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. You can't find a better place. Joe's with me here. We're talking personal protection. I'll tell you what, Joe, everybody's looking for a good handgun. What do you have?
Oh, we pretty much got them all. We got the LCPs, we got the LCP with the laser, we got that little Taurus, we got the Bersa 380s, Caltech 9, Smith & Wesson 38s, Ruger 38s, with or without the laser. You can get a Smith ultralight with the laser, with the short hammer if you want, or enclosed. You got Beretta. We got the new one, the Nano. We got the Colt Defenders in. Those are really nice. The new Ruger SR22. It might be 22, but it's still a good all-around gun.
Now, if you're tough enough to wear pink, I see a pistol on the side of your hip right now with pink handguards. What's up with that?
Well, that's pretty nice, but you have to be a real man to hold a pink one, but nobody will mess with you.
210 East Main. It's Mandan Sporting Goods. Stop by. Once again, sitting with Andy Murdoch from Piper's Western Team. Andy, what's on the schedule next?
Thanks, Scott. Piper's has an outstanding lineup of equipment and land auctions coming up this fall. On August 22nd in Ismay, Montana, Piper's will offer farm and haying machinery, construction equipment, and guns. Piper's will once again be hosting two tremendous farm and construction equipment consignment auctions on September 5th in Ada, Minnesota, and September 20th in Bowman, North Dakota. Also coming up is a full John Deere collectible tractor and antique car auction in Dickinson and our Western Dakota land auction featuring over 4,000 acres in October. As always, you may contact Jim, John, or Andy at 701-523-7366 or log on to pipers.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors, Saturday edition on KFYR in Bismarck, KOLY in Mobridge, and also KGFX Pierre, South Dakota. I'm on YouTube Live right now, too. If you are into that sort of thing, go to YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio is the tag for that. Jesse Flass sitting in the guest chair over across in the plush studios in the world headquarters. That's what you got to call it now.
The world headquarters.
Everybody,
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah.
you ever watch Discovery Channel, and no matter what show they started out with, they always have a world headquarters all of a sudden. So I got to branch out. I got to have other shows somewhere else in order to have a world headquarters, but here it is. Benny Paulson, we were talking about him, and he said here within the next month, he's going to make a trip down and see the studios, be on air with me.
Cool.
Hopefully he can bring his guitar.
Yes.
And see if we can get copyrighted and with he's actually in studio.
Yeah,
with
live
me.
music.
Live music. Can do that too. So Walmart, give me your theory on this, because Walmart is saying, you know what? no more guns, no more ammo. We're not going to sell that stuff because we want to be part of the solution.
Well, they're
to
not
gun
saying
violence.
they're not saying no more guns and
Oh, they're
no
not.
more ammo.
Well,
They're saying that they're no longer going to sell pistols,
Okay.
which they only sell pistols in one state anyway. I believe it's Alaska.
Yeah, I've never seen a pistol in a Walmart.
No, I believe Alaska is the only place they have pistols in their stores.
Okay.
And then they're also saying they're no longer going to sell ammo that is for pistols or for short-barreled rifles.
Which means modern sporting rifles.
That's what I'm guessing they mean.
Right.
Which you can't have a rifle with a barrel shorter than, I believe it's 16 inches without having a class 3 permit for a short-barreled rifle.
Mhm.
And there are not very many of them out there in the world.
Right.
Now, the problem is that they're trying to go after modern sporting rifles. They're trying to go after AR-15s, AK-47s, the scary, and I'm doing some massive air quotes here.
Air quotes going on.
Military assault style weapons.
That's
What?
scary. You're
Good
scaring everybody
Lord,
on my
that's
show
just
right now.
ridiculous.
Come on.
So you're not going to be able to get 223 ammo anymore. You're not going to be able to get 7.62 by 39 anymore in Walmart.
In Walmart.
Okay. I think that Walmart should completely take all guns and all ammo out of their stores. 100%.
And your theory on this is?
It'll just be awesome for HH Guns, Mandan Sporting Goods, 4J Gun Pro,
Jerry's Gun.
Jerry's Gun in Mulbridge.
I don't know any of the pure ones, but all those mom and pop stores.
Yep.
I call them mom and pop stores.
Actual gun stores.
Yeah.
Or you can go in and say, hey, I've got a problem or I got a situation, and they have some knowledge.
Yeah.
Have you tried to ask somebody a gun or ammo question in Walmart lately?
Have you ever tried to find anybody behind the counter?
Yes, that's the truth. It's
but-
frustrating because when I first got married, I was living in Fort Collins, Colorado. My wife was going to grad school down there, and it was hard to find work.
You were a Walmartian.
Robin Schaff Angus Valley Ranch,
Okay.
was a manager at the Fort Collins Walmart. I ran into her one day while I was there shopping, and I jokingly said, you need somebody to sell guns? And she looked at me with big eyes and said, yes. So I started working at Walmart. Myself and another guy named Tanner. He was from that Rifle, Colorado area. We were both outdoorsmen, sportsmen, shooters. We actually knew something about guns. We quadrupled their gun sales in like a month. There's nobody in these big box stores, and I'm talking the Walmarts and Safecos and Dick's Sporting Goods of the world.
Way to just holler them out right on my show.
I'm calling them out. They got no knowledge.
Now, they copyrighted for that.
I will give another box store, Shields, credit. Their customer service is awesome.
They do well.
They do very well.
Yeah.
You know, they are a huge store. They're in Texas now. But
that's right. They're expanding.
They've got people that have knowledge. Now you go to a Mandan Sporting Goods. Even old Joe is going to be able to line you up with something you want. I think that we need to get back to the specialty stores, and whether they're mom and pop or whether they're a big specialty store. You know, I know online is killing a lot of these people. It's so competitive. I needed an AR trigger. I ordered it online. I should have probably saw if Joel could get it in for me right at my hometown store in Hazen.
Right.
I'm guilty of it too, you know. So what's your theory on the Walmart situation?
Same thing. It's going to help these maybe smaller stores and what I call the mom and pops.
Yep.
Have you seen all the social media craze going on? Walmart should stop selling alcohol because that has more
I haven't seen that.
Cause of more deaths, and they should stop selling all tobacco products because that's, it kills way more people than guns do.
Oh yeah, it's a halfway valid argument that you'll never win.
It never will. But you know what? Here's another thing. If Walmart chooses to do that, good for them because they have the right to do that as a business.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not going to deny that. But I probably am never going to step in there again. Hey, did you hear last week's program? Earlier this week?
Yes, I did hear last week's program. I did it.
My daily show.
Oh.
So when I was down in Leeds, South Dakota, I went to the sled house.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a sign that says, "We welcome guns. Please carry and use, if hopefully you never have to, but if you ever have to pull it out, use good judgment and aim."
Yep.
And the owner and I sat and talked with Beth, I think her name was. and she's from New York, moved to the Black Hills, and said 4 or 5 years ago, and said, you know what, we love going out and shooting. They don't hunt, but they both carry while they work in there. And I don't care what anybody says. Maybe it's just a different way of looking at it. You feel safer when you know the owner has your back.
Yeah.
No matter what, they got your back for that, and I think that's the same argument we can have with anything. You're never going to win it probably, but
we getting close to the bottom of the hour break here.
We got a couple minutes here.
I'll touch on this quickly.
Go ahead and touch on it, because I have something from South Dakota here. We're going to touch on next half hour.
Okay. I had a argument that there was no way I was going to win in Medora on Thursday night.
Oh, this is the vegetarian?
Yeah, we actually had a great time. We ran into a couple that were in Medora from England. They landed on the West Coast and they were driving their way across the states. They've been here before. They were on their way to Deadwood. They just picked a town to stay in, and it happened to be Deadwood and
Medora.
Happened to be Medora, which is where we were at. And they were a good time. The husband, he was all in our way of life, ranching cattle, eating steak, whatnot. The wife, wasn't like she was mad about it, but she was a 100% vegetarian.
She did not. When she found out I raised cattle, she had some questions, and I really wanted to talk to her, but I couldn't understand a word she was saying.
They had a pretty thick accents, yeah,
and they spoke English.
Yeah, proper English.
As she told me, proper English. I said, well, it sounds like drunken English to me, because I can't understand a word.
Yeah, it did. She sounded like a drunk sailor. Oh,
I can understand the cuss words she was using at me.
Yeah, they swear a lot.
Oh boy.
People think they get mad at us here in the States if you let one wrong word slip at the wrong place. She was a sailor, and he was giggling and swearing right behind her.
I don't know if I would go sailor. I think it was closer to oil field.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because I've never been with the sailing side, but I've been welding on an oil field before, and let me tell you, yeah, it was interesting. But
yeah, we had a full conversation about why we hunt, I told her we shoot coyotes to protect our calves, and she said, "Okay, but you're protecting your calves just so that you can slaughter them." I'm like, "Yeah, because they taste delicious."
Yeah,
she did not like that answer.
Coyotes don't. That's just part of what happens, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's at least you can have a conversation.
Yeah, and she was willing to talk about it, which I gave her a lot of credit for.
But I'm very curious. You see this Impossible Burger or whatever.
Yeah, the
Wonder
fake
Burger.
Whopper.
Well, there's a name for it. No matter where you go, they have a different name for that plant-based beef. I can't say beef, but somebody proposed it. They said, so if they're so wanting something to taste like meat, just eat meat.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're truly a vegetarian or a vegan, which is even a step above, right? Why do you want to go that far? But
that was what she told me. She says, "Why don't you just go eat the veggie Whopper?" I said, "Because
it's full of chemicals."
No, I told her it's 118 miles one way to the closest Burger King.
Oh, I wish I would have stayed around for that conversation, because I would have pulled up the recipe they use
I know
to make it. Anyway, we're up against our break. More coming up here, second half of the hour. South Dakota files brief in support of gunmaker being sued over the Sandy Hook mass shooting came out.
Oh, boy.
That was on September 6th. We'll cover that next, coming up in the second half hour. And your calls, 888-932-5682. That's 8889 Dakota. Will be back. More Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition right here.
As a leader in farm and ranch insurance in North Dakota, Dakota Community Insurance understands the importance of protecting all aspects of your operation, no matter how large or small. Your Dakota Community Insurance agent can customize an insurance package to cover your farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. For more information, call your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or visit dakotacommunitybank.com.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. Again, sitting with Joe, talking about deer hunting coming around the corner. When it comes to deer list, you don't think about your wife's deer list. It's deer hunting, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. She doesn't make very good venison.
Let's talk about the rifles for deer season here. You got plenty of them to choose from, but name like some of the top 3 that people are coming in and they're just flying off the shelf.
Well, I would say the Marlins, the Ruger Americans, of course, the Remingtons, of course. Savage is a super gun out of the box. They're as good as any of them as far as accuracy right out of the box.
What are some of the special things that come around deer season, like optics, ammunition people are looking at? I know rangefinders are kind of big, and you guys carry a full line of optics as well.
Rangefinders is quite a thing. I mean, you got your cheaper ones, you get your higher ones. You're going to buy one, you may as well buy a good one that'll get out there.
Mandan Sporting Goods, it's 210 East Main. Stop by.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to the Western Dakota Equipment Auction in Bowman on September 20th. Consign your items with Piper's today and line your equipment up to these featured items: John Deere and Case tractors, combines, and air seeders, a 2014 Case 4430 Patriot sprayer, low-hour payloaders and skid steers, top-of-the-line farm and hay equipment, trucks, trailers, construction equipment, and more. Join Piper's Auction in Bowman, North Dakota. Advertising deadline is August 20th. Our inventory is updated daily at pipers.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Scott Bachmeyer, and besides being the host of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio and also a rancher in the Badlands, I'm also an auctioneer. So if you're looking to auction off property, maybe you have farm equipment, a production sale coming up, even a benefit or a fundraiser, I'm the guy that can help you out. Maybe you're listening and you have your own auction company and you find yourself short of help sometimes. I can step up as an auctioneer or even help as a ringman. Give me a call, send me a message, 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
Dakota Community Wealth Management's trust advisors use your wealth to support your family and those you care about. Whether you are just beginning to accumulate wealth or already have significant assets, our wealth management and trust professionals offer a complete array of customizable services to fit your needs. Visit dakotacommunitybank.com or ask for Dakota Community Wealth Management Department to ensure your legacy.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. You can't find a better place. Joe's with me here. We're talking personal protection. I'll tell you what, Joe, everybody's looking for a good handgun. What do you have?
Oh, we pretty much got them all. We got the LCPs, we got the LCP with the laser, we got that little Taurus, we got the Bersa 380s, Caltech 9, Smith & Wesson 38s, Ruger 38s, with or without the laser. You can get a Smith ultralight with the laser, with the short hammer if you want, or enclosed. You got Beretta. We got the new one, the Nano. We got the Colt Defenders in. Those are really nice. The new Ruger SR22. It might be 22, but it's still a good all-around gun.
Now, if you're tough enough to wear pink, I see a pistol on the side of your hip right now with pink handguards. What's up with that?
Well, that's pretty nice, but you have to be a real man to hold a pink one, but nobody will mess with you.
210 East Main. It's Mandan Sporting Goods. Stop by. Once again, sitting with Andy Murdoch from Piper's Western Team. Andy, what's on the schedule next?
Thanks, Scott. Piper's has an outstanding lineup of equipment and land auctions coming up this fall. On August 22nd in Ismay, Montana, Piper's will offer farm and haying machinery, construction equipment, and guns. Piper's will once again be hosting 2 tremendous farm and construction equipment consignment auctions on September 5th in Ada, Minnesota, and September 20th in Bowman, North Dakota. Also coming up is a full John Deere collectible tractor and antique car auction in Dickinson and our Western Dakota land auction featuring over 4,000 acres in October. As always, you may contact Jim, John, or Andy at 701-523-7366 or log on to pipers.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues here. We're sitting in the plush studios of the world headquarters, and Jesse Flass sitting across from me. And I wish everybody could see how relaxed you are.
I'm always chilling.
In the recliner, you got the boom mic. You got everything set up over there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 888-932-5682. That's 888-932-5682. Clay was wondering what the number is to get in on this.
He does not have it on speed dial.
I don't know. I've only been saying the number like 17 times this hour. So we'll see here. We'll see who's with us, though. We do have a caller with us here. Let's turn this up and bring one of our callers in. Welcome, caller. Welcome to the program. Good morning.
I finally got the number.
You're just not listening close enough, are you?
I guess not. Too early in the morning for me,
Too early. Come on now. You know what's hard for me is I love summertime because sun's up at like 4:30.
It makes you wake up.
It makes me get my day going. When it's dark out, it's hard to get them first 3 hours going. Hey, did you see the South Dakota Files brief in support of Remington over that Sandy Hook? So Jesse and I were just going through this news story here. So good for you, South Dakota. Appreciate that. But you know what's scary is, they're going to some of the survivor and relatives of the 9 victims of that Sandy Hook shooting filed that wrongful death lawsuit against Remington back in 2015. And, I sit and think about the Silencer Central and Lane LLC and the Mack Brothers and Sturgis and, some of these small, Chris Meyer, Alliance Custom Armory. Those guys at, Columbia, South Dakota, where, they're trying to make a living, with some of these products. And it's a scary and slippery slope we're going down because it seems like they're gaining some traction. What do you think?
Well, it's interesting that we already have a law against this kind of stuff. 2005, Congress passed it.
Right.
I believe it was 05.
Yeah, it was 2005 that shield gun makers from liability. But here's the thing. It says in most cases where their products are used in crime. So who's to make that decision in which case it was?
Left some loopholes open for them there.
Absolutely.
And I can't remember. I haven't had a chance to actually look at some of the court cases that came across the Supreme Court's desk after that. But it almost seemed like there was one that did. And I believe Scalia was even still alive back then. And the majority, of course, ruled that, yes, we already have this law. It is constitutional. So like I said, I'm going to have to actually go in there and it just seems like there was one, but I don't honestly remember. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting because if there wasn't, it's going to end up in the Supreme Court. And I guess rightfully so. That's where you're supposed to test constitutionality of the law. So just the problem is there's going to be lots and lots of dollars spent trying to defend that. And once again, I look at those lawyers who brought it forth, and I call them ambulance chasers because that's what they do. They don't care. They get paid if they win. Otherwise, they move on to the next, and they're trying to basically bankrupt companies out of existence, just like they did pretty much to big tobacco. It's the same tactic they used when they were suing tobacco companies.
Yeah. Well,
funny they never went after alcohol companies, though.
I think alcohol has changed over the years to being, especially when there's people that really enjoy wine and fine wine, and they make a living doing this. And if, it seems to be, I'm not one of those wine people, but it seems like when you get into the higher dollar stuff, they always sit and have a discussion over fine scotch or a good glass of wine, right? So I think that's going to be one of the last ones they're going to touch on.
Well, because it's socially acceptable amongst certain people. I'm not a wine person either, if you recall.
I don't recall. It's probably too deep in the whiskey by that time to recall anything. But why isn't guns socially acceptable? It is where I live.
I don't know. For whatever reason, I would have to say it has a lot to do with, and let's just face it, there is a big group of people out there that want to disarm us for. It has nothing to do with safety. You cannot control a populace if they're armed. It's been tried. It didn't work. So what's the first thing they try to do when they want to take control? They disarm the populace. And luckily we have those 27 words in the Second Amendment. But I was listening to you guys also talk about Walmart. I'm going to bring up one quick thing.
Sure.
They're talking about not selling handgun ammunition. Well, last I checked, things like 45 long Colt are fired in lever action rifles. 22 long rifles are fired in rifles and handguns. There's several calibers that are fired within both handguns and rifles. So that'll be interesting to see how they handle that.
Okay, so here's the thing. Is it going to help or hurt? Here is an article from guns.com. This was back in August of this year.
Okay.
Gun production numbers are in from 2018, showing an increase from the previous year's figures and the popularity of 9mm handguns. And it goes on. It says the BATF and E now. 8.6 million new firearms of all sorts were produced last year. That's up from 8.3 in 2017. Now, the largest single category of firearms in 2018 was in pistols chambered larger than 380 to 9mm, with 2.2 million plus handguns logged up that way. That's up 1.7 million in the same category from 2017. So 11.49 million new firearms produced in 2016 by comparison. So that's
what blows my mind, you
crazy,
guys.
Man.
What blows my mind is I can see where vehicle numbers, they keep making them because they go to pot. They wear out. That's why there's salvage yards and junkyards. They get wrecked. They keep making all these guns. Where are they going? I mean, you start making 2-3 million pistols a year. Isn't the market going to get flooded at some point? Because pistols don't ever wear out. Not as much as most people shoot. Are they losing them? Are they wrecking them? I mean,
collecting.
I think it has to do more with a vehicle. I mean, like me, we got a few on the place here, but let's even say that the average person maybe owns 2, right?
Right.
They're rotating them out.
Right.
And the average gun owner or even firearms collector, I guess I got to call myself maybe that now.
Yeah,
we own a lot more than that. I'm not going to say how many.
Right.
And I don't have any plans to quit. In fact, I want to see how big my collection can get.
Right.
Well, here's
that's what happens.
That.
It's the latest greatest, right? Everybody wants
the
latest greatest, whether you're going to use it or not. I mean,
right?
You want to have it.
We all 3 of us have handguns or long rifles, for that matter, that we've never shot.
Yes,
I guarantee it.
Right.
Yep.
And I have a lot less than you guys do. But still. So let me twist your Morristown, South Dakota mind around something else that came out at the end of August, Clay.
Okay, go for it.
Are you ready?
I've been busy hands, so I haven't been keeping up on current events.
No, I have this cool thing called a smartphone that, and Jody down in Pierce, she sends me all this stuff. It's awesome. She's looking out for me. I appreciate that.
Good deal. Yeah. Good deal.
Anyway, South Dakota Supreme Court weighs banning concealed gun in its space here. So if you remember, last session, lawmakers approved the Supreme Court's request to exempt its chamber from the new state law, allowing residents with enhanced concealed carry permits to bring guns into the Capitol building. So remember that. So what do you think? Well, let me go further here. The Supreme Court is defining where exactly it will prohibit handguns in its space. So, the Argus leader sent that story around. So
my opinion is Supreme Court's overstepping its bounds. It's only supposed to. This is where I got problems with either state or federal Supreme Courts. Their law is not, or their job is not to interpretate the law. They're supposed to interpretate it according to the state's constitution or the Fed's constitution. That's it. They're not supposed to rewrite it from the bench. And we'll see how it comes out. That is my opinion as what a Supreme Court is. That is the function of the Supreme Court. It is not their job to read into the law, read into the Constitution. They're supposed to look at each and every single law or case that pertains to that law, look at it and go, all right, this does fall within the parameters of the Constitution, and rule accordingly. Or say, nope, this is not what follows our state constitution or the federal constitution, or U.S. Constitution, of course, and then rule against it. It's an unconstitutional law. So that's their only job, but so many times they look at the intent, and that's not their job.
Mm-hmm.
And I got an issue with that. That's why
I know. That's why I brought it up.
Very important. Yeah, it's very, very important to nominate the right people, especially at our federal level. And everybody says, "Oh, we can't have a litmus test." Yeah, we can. We got to have staunch constitutionalists. And Scalia was one of my favorites. The guy, I didn't always agree with all his rulings, but he kept it constitutional, and that's what it was supposed to be.
Well, that's Marty Beard says, when the government takes away citizens' rights to bear arms, it becomes citizens' duty to take away government's right to govern. And that was a quote from George Washington.
Hey, I was just going to say that. That's an actual quote. Thanks, Marty. Speaking of Marty, I don't hear from him much anymore.
Well, it's hard when you're banned from every social media platform ever designed.
Yeah, he's down to 1970s direct phone calling through the dial-up system.
With a rotary phone.
Yeah, that's what I was looking
Yeah.
for.
Yeah. No, even the
By the way,
even the
Marty-
old school party lines kicked them off.
Oh, wow. Did you hear about the big Second Amendment rally?
No, tell me
coming
about
up.
that. Well, I'm pulling up some stuff here quick.
Oh, that's coming up there in Bismarck. I gotta remember a date. I think it's September 15th, I believe. Let me double check.
And what's
this.
that all about?
Well, I'm not. I'm just. I got an invite to come to it, and I'm definitely going to attend. Basically, they want to show support in light of all these red flag laws and things that have been produced,
see.
coming up, and they're doing it on the Capitol grounds at 2:00 Central Time. And I think Representative Becker's speaking. I don't know if they've really gotten all the other speakers lined up, but there's a group. I know Jared Hendricks. He helped out Senator Kramer on his campaign, but I know he's been very involved with it. And hey, I just wanted to let everybody know that let's have a big showing there. I know I'm going to go attend, and anyone can attend on the 15th. I think that'd be a great thing, and just show people there is a lot of support for the Second Amendment, and we are not going to tolerate red flag laws. And I think that's kind of what this is about, and I think it's important. North Dakota had this. We aren't exempt from this craziness.
No, it's only getting worse, man.
Yes, and the red flag law was introduced, and thank goodness we had it defeated. And credit to the NRA. A lot of people have been bashing them lately on different things, but the NRA lobbyist, the state liaison for North Dakota, he was there, and he worked. There's a brand new one, by the way, now, thank goodness. But he worked tirelessly and hard, and was there a lot to make sure that this went to defeat in North Dakota. Yeah. So it was good to see that work the way it did, but the idea that they've even was supported, and that's where you had Kirsten Baszler on, and I commend her for coming on your show, but I don't believe for a minute she's pro-gun, and I'll go right on air with her. I don't care. She was in support of this and came out and spoke in support of the red flag law and stood right there as they announced it. And anybody that supports a red flag law is not a Second Amendment supporter, period. And I'll call her out.
I know you were going to. Yeah, I know you messaged me immediately when that happened. Yeah.
But it's good she comes on. But
yeah,
I don't doubt she supports the idea that, like she said, of carrying in a school, especially in the rural schools. But I would imagine that she maybe would have an issue if you had it happening in a Fargo school. I bet you she wouldn't like people carrying there. But I would pressure her and ask her. If she does, great. But the idea that she supports a red flag law tells me everything I need to know about her Second Amendment stance.
Well, it depends on how much research people have done on the red flag law. Because if you
her job to do that,
I know.
too, and
I know.
she
I'm
didn't.
just saying, if you read the quick headlines, like a lot of people just read headlines of things, and then that's where they get the information.
Yep.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going that way. I can have her.
Right.
I'll try to have her on to do that.
Yeah.
And ask her. I got another one text into me here. It says, "Hey Scott, how about this current event? California has banned the taking of fur for recreation and monetary gain, but depredation is still allowed."
Just seen that too. Wow.
I didn't see that one. I did not know.
Just seen it yesterday actually last night when I got in. I got it sent to me. I don't know how many times. I guess even though I've been retired for 3 years, I still get it sent to me.
Isn't that earthquake going to tear that part of this country off? What's going on?
I tell you what, guys, what's funny about that is my brother-in-law lives in a smaller community just south of LA. He runs a golf course out there. He's the head of the grounds side. He just in this last week has sent my wife 3 different videos where they have coyotes so thick on their golf course. He was driving his work cart around in the morning, and he stopped because he come around the corner. Here's 4 coyotes. 2 of them were right. He could have reached out and grabbed if they had a collar on like a dog, he could have reached out and grabbed the collar. They were chasing mice, and they are not. They don't care if you're there. They're within a handshake away from you, and they're everywhere out there.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a prediction, and you guys, it's gonna be on YouTube for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I did this 11 years ago, and I started this whole fiasco with these Measure 5 laws, and there was a radio host out of Fargo that called me. what was I? What did he call somebody that's really extremist?
You were a right-wing wing.
No, it wasn't about politics.
Oh.
I said, you wait. I said, PETA and HSUS are going to come in here, and they're going to be starting to try to get in on the bottom door here, and they're going to work their way in.
Yep.
And look what's happened. They got, 4 different offices
in
the
our
state of North Dakota.
Yes.
I'm making the same prediction about banning the taking of fur. If it starts in California,
It's coming.
it usually goes up the coast and into Montana pretty quick, because most of Montana has a lot of California influence.
Western Montana, yeah.
Western Montana.
Yep.
And I guarantee within maybe a handful of years, we're going to be putting up with this same type of legislative action here.
We
when it
will.
comes to coyotes. I guarantee we will.
I have no doubt that it's coming, especially, you're right, they got offices here. You got to remember,
Yeah.
I call them the
huge
enemy
money.
because to me, they are the enemy of our freedom and our way of life. So they are the enemy. It goes to, these fake burgers, anti-hunting, any of it. They set up offices out here in the Midwest because this is ground zero. If they could ever get a foothold here, it's done.
Well, here's the other problem, guys. When they come into our state, they don't necessarily go underneath their own name.
Mm-mm.
There's something in North Dakota called DRC, Dakota Resource Council.
They come up with nice politically
Look up
correct
who the
sounding names.
Dakota Resource Council is and who they're funded by and who they actually are.
Oh, really?
I'll leave it at
That's
that.
right.
Okay.
Yes, you're right, Jesse. They're
Yeah.
I'm not so sure, and I don't remember back when Measure 5 was being fought because I did what I could back then, but my hands were tied a little bit, so I couldn't do as much as I wanted. But it seems like they were on the side of that too. Just seems like for some reason I remember seeing their name on the list of donors.
Yeah. Well,
and they're not.
And here's the reason. I'm going to finish with this here before I got to let both of you guys. We need.
I didn't mean to do that. Just
Nope.
butt in like that.
No. We need the hunting industry and we need the agriculture industry to work together. And right now, of course, with the landowner property rights thing, we're not working together at all. And it's allowing these other groups to come in and do what they're doing here. And not only that, but they're getting on boards and they're getting on committees that have huge decisions about not only hunting, but animal agriculture.
Yes.
And everybody's just smiling and thinking, it's just some nice person that moved here.
They're also getting into our legislature.
Absolutely.
And, it's kind of like I've been saying here, and I'll announce something later on here, but
off air.
Yeah, well, yeah. And where I'm going to be going, but I got to wait. But we need to get people running in 2020 and 2022 here, the next 2 election cycles where the legislature will be meeting again, like in 21 and 23. And we got to have people in there that are going to defend what we love. It's a pretty important election cycle in North Dakota. I don't think anybody realizes it those next 2 times.
Yeah. Well, I know where you're going with that. So, make that announcement on my program. That would be cool.
We may have to talk about that. Yes, absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna have to let you go, my man. Be safe. God's blessing you with a little bit more moisture here today, so enjoy it.
Yeah, you getting any of that up there?
Getting a little bit, a little bit of moisture.
Good.
Not as much. It is the Badlands. It's not the Morristown Goodlands. I'll tell you that.
This year we've been blessed. It's no doubt. So
right.
you take it easy, Scott, and I'm looking forward to next weekend with Landon. He gets to go out and youth deer
season next
He's
Friday.
got a tag, and it'll be his first one. So I'm kind of pumped. I think probably more than I am for myself.
All right, man. Have yourself a good one. Stay on the line here. We'll do it after we sign out here. I appreciate that. And Jesse, thanks for coming over and helping me out with the cattle here. We still have a water tank to put in that you didn't know about today.
I'm aware of it.
Appreciate all the stations. If you want to find more information, DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com. See ya. All right, YouTube, thanks for tuning in here today. Please share and get more subscribers. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Appreciate it. Have yourselves a good weekend.